I used my architectural background to land a 9 to 5, but the real momentum started when I took everything that I learned into my own hands. If you're in or just out of architecture school, you're likely full of talents and skills, but also wondering how to make some extra little money based on what you've already learned. In today's video, I'm going to break it all down. The mindset, the strategy, and the exact steps that you can use to build a profitable side hustle from the skills that you've already have. I've personally built additional income streams through custom embroidery, content creation, freelance creative work, and now even YouTube, all while working in architecture full time. Plus, I've dropped my portfolio in the description down below as a free download so you can see how I position myself when I go into interviews to not just put architectural work, but also the stuff that I created along the way. Let's dive in. When I was in architecture school, I was hooked onto more than just design. I was obsessed with the act of making. I remember the first time I laser cutted or 3D printed a specific model and have it in my own hands. It just proved that I made something physically, and it all just made so much sense to me. I like seeing ideas come to life. Over time, that grew into a passion of creating with physical materials outside of architecture. In my case, custom embroidery. It combined design, branding, and final product, all on a timeline that I could personally control. And through a random elective that I took in architecture school many years ago, as well as mixing with a bunch of cool dudes who were really passionate about photography and videography at the same time, I ended up exploring commercial photography, and now videography and personal creation through YouTube. Now all of those skills led to a few photo shoots, I picked up video editing, and now launching my own YouTube channel, which is already monetized, thanks to you. The common thread through all of this, I used what architecture taught me, funny enough. Design thinking, storytelling, craft making, and applied it through different mediums that allowed me to build, grow, and create a community. To help you see what this looks like in practice, I post occasionally on Instagram, link in my bio so you get to kind of see what I do in my daily life, or whenever I post. But don't go anywhere just yet. Make sure you get something valuable out of this video first. Here's what we'll unpack today. How to recognize the skills you already have, how to pick a side hustle that actually works with your workflow, and how to build a digital presence that works while you sleep. By the end of this video, I hope that you have a better understanding of how you can use your skills to create a side hustle, even while juggling school or a full-time job. Also, this is my new setup. You can see my embroidery machines right at the back, and also now my two working screens are behind me as well. So these are kind of free real estate for me to put whatever I want. At the moment, the idea is for one of the screens to have one of my latest embroidery creations, and for the other one just to have a small little reminder of my sub count, so that whenever I look back into the videos and I constantly grow, I get to see how far I've gone over the years. So yeah, these are just little memoirs for myself, but if you have any suggestions of what I should put in there, let me know down in the comments below. Today's show call is a Snoopy design I did for someone on a tote bag. I think it looks pretty cute and I thought I wanted to share with all of you. Now, the biggest myth that creatives believe is this: I don't have anything to offer until I graduate or when I know enough. Wrong. Get out of your mindset. If you've completed even one semester of architecture school, first of all, well done. You've already developed rare high-level skills. For example, your design thinking process, taking vague, often messy briefs that you can't really understand from your tutors, and translating them into structural concepts. This is very valuable for startups, agencies, or brands that cannot visualize their ideas at the get-go. You've also learned a lot about visual storytelling. You know how to create clarity through layouts, diagrams, color theory, composition of colors, color palettes, and rhythm in presentation. Like this video right now, I think I've gained the skill of talking to camera because I've actually presented a lot in my 5 years of architecture school, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to improve every single day, and there have moments where I cut a lot. I guess if you look at the backlight and then you see how it suddenly jots to another color, that's probably when I probably made a oopsie and then I have to cut the video. So, oh well. Let me know if that's really annoying as well down in the comments. I'm just trying new things. Most people overcomplicate their visuals, but now you know how to simplify and communicate. From a technical perspective, you probably picked up a lot of workflow tools. Mentioned in a lot of my videos, whether it's Rhino, Revit, AutoCAD, SketchUp, or the Adobe Suite, you know how to move ideas from just a random sketch into something that's tangible. Those tools, combined with your thinking process, make you way more capable than you give yourself credit for. So don't put yourself down. And one skill that most people overlook, and this is a very valuable skill that you gain from architecture school, you're able to problem solve under high intensity pressures. Architecture trains you to find solutions fast. That adaptability becomes your edge when you're freelancing, launching a product, or working with non-creatives. And in this field, you're going to work with a lot of non-creatives. Here's a little task for you. Spend time this week identifying 3 to 5 tasks that you already do well and you think that it's something that you can help solve someone else's problem. Once you write that down, once you get that clarity, you can then start to kickstart and brainstorm what you can offer to society. That's how I started my custom embroidery business. That's how I started this YouTube channel in the first place as well. I was just thinking about what value I can provide. What can I give to the people? What's a gap in the market at the moment? And for my custom embroidery, it was because I knew there were a lot of people that wanted to bring their ideas to life physically. And having an embroidery machine allows for me to create that, whether it's on clothes, whether it's on bags. I just was able to do a lot of creative stuff. And for YouTube, I saw a gap in the market for people that don't really know what architecture school was like. Yeah, so it's been really rewarding and just really interesting to see how like just constantly trying was able to land me where I am right now. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Yes, sorry, but once you identify the 3 to 5 tasks, that will be your starting point. So get started on that. Now let's talk strategy. Don't just start a side hustle because it looked cool online. Pick something that matches with your personal purpose, your workflow, personality, and current capacity. Let's go deeper with a few stronger options. Some of these I've tried myself, but some of these I'm working towards too as well. Number 1, freelance visualization. You already know how to do renders and layouts in school. You're forced to do that already. So might as well use that to your advantage and monetize it. Why not package those services for interior designers, real estate companies, or even architects with an overflow of work? Use your uni projects as a mini portfolio. You could offer different packages. You could start small. You could start with a friend first, and then once you compile enough work and you're confident, you can reach out to the big fish. Most of the time, they really need someone to render for them anyways. So this is a huge market that I've seen a few of my friends, shout out Felix, who's been smashing it in his rendering whilst working as an interior designer. So for this model to work, you need to keep it clear, make sure communication is good, just make sure to streamline the process so that you're able to scale it. Renders nowadays go easily from $300 to maybe even $4,000. It really depends on who your customer is, but there is a huge market for rendering. Second option is branding for small businesses. And again, I have friends who studied architecture who are doing that as well. You already work with fonts, layouts, and color harmony. Local cafes, online creators, new businesses that are starting up and need logos. They are always looking for help from professionals. Create mock branding packs, logos, font pairings, IG templates, I don't know. Have conversations with a brand owner and be like, I can offer you these services. And usually brand owners, they don't really have an aesthetic or the kind of mindset to do these kind of things. So they need you. They really do. The third option is photo and video content. And this has so many different levels to it. It really depends on what you're really into. So if you enjoy studio photography or video, this is honestly a goldmine. A lot of people say, oh, this market's really saturated. And even though it's true, if you're able to showcase your value proposition to the client, if you have a portfolio of work that actually looks good, I'm sure that there's going to be someone out there that's going to take you on, and then eventually if you keep going and keep being consistent, you are going to be able to find a fleet of clients that are going to look for you for ongoing work. People from influencers, real estate agents, once again, all need help creating short form content because IG, TikTok is king right now, but I'm on YouTube, so I don't know. I prefer YouTube anyways. Start sharing BTS reels of your own work. I've done a lot of this in my custom embroidery business, and that's how I was able to showcase to the world that I exist. So not just doing the business, but also sharing stuff about myself online was able to give me so many more customers because there's social proof. But if you want to focus more on photo or video content, you could reach out to your favorite influencers at the start and offer simple edits. I've listened to Alex Hormozi talk about this before, and I think it was along the lines of, if you want to edit for somebody, rather than waiting for them to say yes, just take some of their content, repurpose it, re-edit it, and send it to them and show them that you are serious about creating for them. I mean, personally, I think this makes a lot of sense. So yeah, if you want to do that, you can try that instead. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, 15-second reels, or create a bunch of templates, create video templates. That could be a good way to scale your business, because I think that digital products nowadays are so key, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. The fourth one is physical product making. So either embroidery, laser cutting, or 3D printing. In architecture school, you probably learn a lot about laser cutting and 3D printing already anyways, especially in this era. But embroidery more so just a little thing that I've been playing around with. Oops. This is what I lean into very early on. Architecture already teaches you about fabrication logic. Take that and apply it to a product that has a way faster turnaround. Buildings technically take around maybe 6 months to a couple of years for completion. So if you do not have the patience for that, your side hustle can be something a bit way smaller scale. For me, that was custom embroidery. I can design, embroider, and package everything within the same night after work. Embroidery just worked for me because it connected branding, design, and making. You could apply the same process to other things like, I don't know, custom signage, physical magazines, or laser cut and 3D printed decor. You could prototype 1 or 2 items first and then test it out on Etsy or Instagram. Surely one of your friends will buy, right? And lastly, this is something that I'm still learning and I really want to get into. Educational and digital products. You probably already know how to use software better than 90% of your peers. Grab hold of that. Embrace it. You could maybe start with tutorials or downloadable templates. Like again, you as an architectural designer, you probably know how to do layouts, so why not sell Canva templates? I don't know how saturated the market is, but that could be an option. Think about this. How can I save someone 10 hours of work with something that I already know? If someone needs to create a resume, if someone needs to create a portfolio, bam, you've already created a template for them, and then they don't have to think about anything and just put in the information. You save them time, you provide them value, they are going to appreciate you even more. Obviously make it look good, but I trust that you will because you're a designer. I know digital products take a lot of effort up front, but they technically pay you forever once it is out there. If it was marketed properly, of course. So that's why you start to merge your video and photo editing skills into marketing for your digital products or your physical products. So all of these things kind of merge into one. And all of this you learn in architecture school. Crazy, I know. I'm currently figuring out how I can build something of my own in this digital product space. I first started giving out freebies at the moment with my architecture portfolio from when I just got out of uni. So that was something that really helped me understood what the digital market was like. And based on the statistics of whoever's downloading it, from the US, India, China, so many people from around the world just downloading your content, it just proves that the scale of digital products is infinite. You never know who is watching and you never know who will find value in your product. It was really reassuring to me to see how I'm able to provide value to people. And if you want that architectural portfolio for yourself, the link is in the description. Free, it's free, don't worry about it. The goal here isn't to be everywhere, but to pick one lane. Yes, some of these ideas might cross over, but it's to pick one lane, build it for maybe 90 days, see if it works or not, and then reassess. Is this working for me? Is it not? And then if it is, scale from there, slowly move. I started my custom embroidery business almost 3 years ago, and I started this YouTube channel almost a year ago. I wouldn't say that I got results instantly, but somehow or rather I kept going and they're both doing okay. And I believe that they'll get even better. So I'm just gonna keep pushing. And you should too. Now I want to share a little something about where most creatives kind of hit a roadblock. You've got the skills, you even started doing the work, but no one knows that you exist. You need a digital presence, especially in this world where the internet is so important. You don't need anything fancy, you just need something effective. As much as some of you watching right now do not like to pick up a camera and show yourself to the world, I feel that in this age this is a must. Sorry about that, but it's the truth. Just so that you can get yourself ahead from anyone else in the field. Post on Instagram, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Show the world that you exist. You never know who is watching and when the cursed algorithm finally decides to show your video to a lot of people in the world after hours and hours and hours of editing, but then it finally blows up. You just never know, but you just gotta try. You just gotta keep going until it happens. And when it happens, your world will change. What matters is clarity. Who you are, what you offer, what results people can expect, and how they can contact you. That's it. Very simple. A lot of people do this through their Instagram page, just something simple in their bio, just being like, oh, for client inquiries, email, blah, 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 or they just slide into the DMs. But usually your bio in your Instagram page or your YouTube bio are the most important forms of contact, because without them, people will not be able to find you and inquire you for your work. And then you have to build trust through content. Start sharing parts of the process. As mentioned before, you can start to share a lot of the BTS, behind the scenes. It could be a quick story of a week, you showing how you came up with your design iterations to the final product, or a time-lapse of you working. Remember, you're not showing off, you're educating and documenting. This is for your own sake as well. When you look back after you've become a multi-billionaire from 10 years later, you're gonna be like, dang, that's how I got to this point. And you'll be proud of yourself. People like to connect with the journey, not so much the end result as much, right? And lastly, this is probably the hardest part, you have to post consistently. At least once a week, at least. It's more about staying on top of mind rather than trying to go viral. It's like, I know so many people who start the content creation, but then they just fall off because one, it's too much work, two, they're not seeing the traction that they think that they deserve, and then they're just like, oh, I'm just wasting my time. Well, I felt that as well when I started this YouTube thing. There would be videos that I put in like maybe 5 to 10 hours of editing, and then it just came out with like 50 views. And honestly, it's quite sad, but then constantly posting, constantly trying new video ideas, and then the next thing you know, one video blows up. I'll talk about that in another video. And now I'm monetized, so praise God. Your architecture skills are bigger than your buildings. They are a foundation for strategy, creativity, production, and entrepreneurship. You don't need to wait until you graduate. I repeat, you do not have to wait until you graduate. You don't need more certifications. No one online cares about what you've accomplished in school. You just need to start applying what you already know to the problems that people already have. If this video helped you, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'm building this channel for creative professionals and students who want more freedom in their career. Not just security and not just going to a 9 to 5. There's more to life than that. Check out my other video, what you need to know if you start your own business. It gives you a reality check and helps you build smarter from day one. Things that I wished I knew before I started my business. Let me know down in the comments. What's your first move going to be? Are you going to do the 3 to 5 tasks that I told you to do? Whether it's your first client, your first product, or even your first post, share it with me. I want to know and support you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.